Hello, Alwyn here again. I would just like to talk to everyone about some things that have been going through my mind today, and what it's come down to is expectations. Um, Expectations are the silent stiflers of all joyous creative expressions. Doesn't matter what you know you're going. It doesn't matter what you know that you enjoy. If you go about it with an expectation, it no longer becomes joyful, it becomes work. And today I'm kind of coming full circle on releasing my expectations of myself. And it's funny, it's like as soon as I release those expectations, I all of a sudden, all my energy just came freed up. My whole being just freed up to actually do the things that I want to do. For some reason, I just felt like painting. For some reason, I just felt like reading a book. For some reason, I just felt like meditating. For some reason, I just felt like working out at 10 o'clock at night. And it was just those expectations. They really stifle all kinds of creative expression. And people don't know when they're putting expectations on themselves, but it's so easy to put an expectation on yourself, and it's incremental. It's cumulative. It starts off with just one expectation, and then subconsciously you don't even know you're doing it, and they just pile and stack and stack and stack and stack. And I feel like the biggest expectation that you can do is telling people what you're going to do. And I just like to explain it like this. If I say I'm gonna start, eating right tomorrow, well, for one, I put it in the future, all right. And as long as I put it in the future, it's always gonna be up in the future, and it's gonna be really hard for me to keep up with it. The future doesn't exist anyway, so of course I'm never gonna catch up with it. And so putting things in future tense or past tense whenever you say you're gonna do something. That is one way to set yourself up for failure. And it goes with the same rhythm of, if I say I am this, and I share that with somebody else, say, I am Breatharian, and it really means excessively. If you're sharing something about yourself and you're not yet resonating with that state of being, it's like you're putting it over there. You're saying, even though I say I am Breatharian, but if I'm not resonating in that state of I am, then it's over there. And that means that my being is still not resonating with it. And if I keep thinking, oh, I'm moving there, but I'm not actually changing my vibration and my attitude to get there, and then following through with the appropriate steps that my intuition guides me to, it's always going to be over there. And therefore, I set up this idea in my mind, an expectation, that I'm going to reach it. But the reality is my being is not vibing with it. If my being's not resonating with it, then I'm never going to get there. Here we go. You set yourself up for failure in those instances of expectations. And I feel the very, very subtle way of setting yourself up for an expectation is by telling people, I would say more than one person, but telling people in general that you're going to do something or that you are something, and yet you have yet to fulfill yourself 100% trust within yourself to where you don't have to say it anymore, you just are it. You don't have to say it when you are it. And if you have to say it, then that's a little bit to pride side of things. And if you're afraid to say it, afraid to be it, that's a little more to the opposing opposite of that spectrum. And it's just expectations are very like silent killers as far as creativity goes. They there's little blockages in your mind, and it's not until you break that expectation by finally proving that you're not at that level that you come to realize, oh, it was an expectation. But people that are not that self-aware to realize that they even put an idea out there in front of them to block them, they end up just causing expectation after expectation, telling people they're going to do this and do that and do that, and it lasts 4 days or so. That's what they say. The average goal in the United States, as far as a New Year's revolution, lasts 4 days, and it's about those expectations. You feel constricted by this assumption that you're going to succeed when you don't know if you're going to succeed or not. You don't know if you're going to fail or not. All you know is that you can do your best, but you have to resonate with doing your best. And the only way you can be your best is if you resonate at the attitude of your best in that disciple of whatever it is you're going for. And I like to share this this kind of like a metaphor of, do you remember when you see a shooting star and you say make a wish, but don't tell anybody, else your wish won't come true? Well, everything you say is a wish. Everything you say you're going to do is pretty much a wish. And if you tell anybody your wishes, they're not going to come true. And that's that simple dynamic of you putting your energy over there, yet you're not resonating with that state of being anymore. So therefore, you're not going to get there. You're not going to attract that reality to you. You're not going to reflect the inner image into the mirror of life. All you're doing is just spitting out words, ideas. It's not really doing anything. So treat everything as wish upon a star, because you are the stuff that stars are made of. And that's what it's all about. When you make wishes, when you set intentions, when you tell someone, you're stifling your ability to actually create that. That's where the whole ideology of a hypocrite comes from. Say one thing, do another. Well, they don't know that they're really throwing their wishes away when they tell people things instead of just being it. If you are it, someone will ask you, and then you'll be able to tell them and explain to them. But until that point where someone notices you being what you set out to be, being your wish, there's no reason to tell them. As soon as you tell them, you stifle all creativity in that direction. I've noticed this with my writing, I've noticed this with my painting, I've noticed this with my working out, I've noticed this in reading books, I've noticed this with every aspect of my life. Goals are like silent intentions. I don't even write mine down anymore. You gotta keep them to yourself. You gotta be conscious of your own intentions, and really the only goal ever to have is to be your best. And that means before you sit down and paint, before you sit down and write, before you sit down and go working out, before you read, before you do anything, before you step into any situation, you gotta tell yourself, resonate with yourself, and say, I'm bringing my best right here. I'm being my best. And affirm that attitude to yourself. Those affirmations are really very personal things. Prayers are very personal things. Unless you're in a ceremony, and there's a community, and you're putting we and us and our and stuff in there. Affirmations are prayers to yourself, and you should keep them to yourself. Otherwise, you throw out expectations, and they're very subtle. When you share it with someone else, it's a very subtle expectation. It's so small, and it just creeps, and it increments so slowly that it just creeps up underneath the radar of your awareness, to where you don't know why you don't feel like painting. You don't know why you don't feel like doing anything. It's just something in you is stopping you from wanting to do these things, and it's like you really want to do them. A lot of times, an end result, what you're supposed to do is trust in the process, love the process, and don't worry about the end result. Forget about the end result. Forget about the outcome. To be joyous in your creativity is to be present in your creativity, and it's really just about, it's not about what picture I'm painting. It's more so about what can I learn about myself while I'm painting this picture. It's not about what I'm trying to achieve when working out. I'm already resonating that state of being before I work out, so the outcome doesn't matter. I'm resonating that. I'm picking the outcome and affirming my attitude to it before I even begin the activity. So therefore, it's not about the activity. It's about the process of enjoying the activity, being fully present in it. And if before, a lot of people, when they start an activity, they wonder why there's so much resistance to it, to actually bring it to completion. Is because they have yet to resonate with the state of being, and then bring, resonate with the outcome that they wish to see, and then bring it into manifestation by being it through practical measures, drawing, painting, whatever it is that you're trying to do. Breatharianism, breathing. It's I really like that analogy of, you are the stuff the stars are made of. Make a wish, keep it to yourself. When you share those wishes, you set yourself up for failure, and you won't even know it unless you're highly aware. And then once you reach, I've finally gotten back to the state of point where I don't have expectations. I've done released them all. Like, now I gotta be fully conscious. I'm meditating a lot, and I gotta be fully conscious, and I gotta say, I'm not gonna hold on to another idea. I'm like, as soon as an idea pops in my head, I'm like, I'll let that go. If it's important, it'll come back. If it's important to you, your ideas, your thoughts, your inspirations, your passions, they'll come back to the surface and they'll say, finish me, now's the time, here's some inspiration. Let those ideas go. Let those thoughts of yourself and what you think you should do and how you plan things to occur, let them all go. And I like to bring this full circle again with Breatharian. I'm resonating with this state of being, and so I can say that to myself. I'm only going to say that to myself from now on. I'm going to keep posting these videos about my experiences and about my perceptions and how I'm working this all out within myself, for myself, and it's really just about, I don't want to put any expectations on myself, and because that's what I feel like what happened the other day. I put an expectation on myself, and it collapsed on me. Whenever just that one moment that I wasn't paying attention, I wasn't vibing at that attitude of that state of being that I want, the old program snuck right in and surprised me. But you just gotta be conscious. You gotta be present. You gotta be with the flow, be in the flow. Where they say, see it, feel it, trust it. You gotta see it, feel it, trust it. You can take that into everything, and there's only one goal in mind. Anything you're doing, doesn't matter what it is, and it's be your best. If you be your best, and just resonate with that outcome before you begin it, you will notice improvements in yourself and new perspectives and new intuitions every single time. And you know you're best because you'll feel yourself pushing against a little bit of resistance. It'll feel like you're just doing it just to do what you're doing, but once you start pushing against some resistance, that's when you're going a little bit further than you went before, and that's being your best. When you push against a little bit of resistance, it's all it takes is a little bit of resistance for us to really be our best. And I just feel like this is so important. Expectations, they stifle all happiness, and they make all good intentions turn sour, and nobody really knows why they stop doing what they're doing, or they don't feel the passion anymore, and they keep chasing it and trying, and then they feel let down, and it's only when they give up do they feel a release. In order to stay within the process and bring it to completion, you have to let go of all expectations, all ideas of what you believe it will turn out to be, because if you let all that stuff go, you'll be surprised time and again how much your inner self shines and how much you really learn about yourself. And this was today's big thing. An expectation is a judgment. It is a judgment, and I'm really understanding some of these things, but I'm gonna say I don't understand anything because I don't want putting expectations on myself. I'm a fool. I don't know anything, and but I just want to say I love you all, and today went great. All I can say is today went great. If you have any questions, holler at me. And still doing my thing, and feel great. Love you all.